get editing mic right off the bat. Mostly to say sorry. I know this isn't around the holidays. This is like a whole month later. But I found myself enjoying the nice weather and friends and company over the holidays, as I think you should. And so didn't get around to this. And also, honestly, I've been enjoying making the van a lot more than editing these things. And so I've been prioritizing that. And yeah, but I finally gotten around to this. And so you're gonna get to see a little bit more today of what I've been doing. Which brings my second apology, is a lot of this footage is like 2 months old now at this point. Definitely figuring out the camera at that point. Still figuring out the camera right now. But even worse a couple months ago. And so apologies for the quality of the footage when it even exists. I lost a bunch. So hopefully this gives you a little glimpse into what I've been working on, or what I was working on in November, and I'll try, and hopefully we'll see the quality improve along the way. But with that in mind, I will say, if anyone that has any sort of camera experience, any pointers, would be greatly appreciated. I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. I have a real tripod now, which that's a huge plus. But yeah, anyone who wants to give me some feedback on how to do this better, please let me know. I will take any criticism constructively. Today's video, I'm going to be cutting holes in the van, which was pretty daunting at the time, for windows, for fans, and for a couple other things. I'll be adding in the subfloor and getting that all shaped in, which I'm sure you'll get a laugh at throughout. And then putting up some framing everything will be kind of getting attached to once we start to build out the interior of the van. Which unfortunately was the parts that I lost a good chunk of. So as I said, I'll try and find some different footage from off my phone or things like that I saved to fill it in. But at the very least, you'll get a little bit of a walk around, seeing what it looks like at that point. So hopefully you enjoy. So first things first was to chop off these vertical air quotes supports. From everything I've seen, they really are just there to kind of hold the sheet metal on of the body, the external body. They don't add any additional support to the actual frame of the van. And so it's okay to kind of chop them off, as long as you're going to create other ways to add some structure to the panels, the exterior panels, which I was. I'm going to be gluing a whole bunch of stuff to them for the inside. So I wasn't too worried about pulling these off, but as you can see, not the easiest. They were welded into place in a couple different spots, so I had to grind them off and use a couple different various methods to get them off.
Air flyers. Air flyers, all you need.
After getting those beams off, Kobe and I, you can see here, working on cutting the windows. At this point we'd already cut the back one, and now we're just cutting the side. We taped both sides to try and prevent as much blowout on the metal and keep the edge nice and clean. And then when we were actually installing the windows, made sure to spray paint the edge to cover that bare metal back up that we'd exposed from cutting and grinding these holes in the wall.
Hey!
Did it!
Got a video of you punching it out?
Sure.
Use some wood framing to fill out the space so that they clamp in really nicely and lock in with silicone. And then it was up onto the roof and do the exact same thing over again. Unfortunately at this point the blade I was using, and I didn't have a second one, was getting very dull, so it kept pulling itself out of the jigsaw, which made it extra complicated up there, but was able to get through it without too many other problems. And that's what the underside looks like before we put the actual fan in. Hopefully you can hear me all right. If not, I'll have to dub over this whole thing, and I probably won't even use this. Yeah. Last time I was sitting in the back here, I was talking about tearing everything out, so I thought I'd do a little bit of an update. It's been a couple weeks. The biggest update that came with this, well, maybe not the biggest, but one of the big ones that took a lot of time was getting the car registered, getting the van registered. To do that, I had to go through the safety inspection, which did not pass the first time, unfortunately. Without being able to inspect the vehicle before purchasing it in the way that I bought this van as on an auction. That's kind of the nature of the beast. So unfortunately, had to get all the brakes done, as well as a little bit of body work to get it up to snuff. But once I got that, was able to get it registered and get plates and drive it legally on the roads without having to pay for a single day registration every time, which is really annoying and starting to add up. So that's a huge plus, but unfortunately it did take a bit of time to work through. After that, cutting holes in the van in a bunch of different places. So we got our window here, another window at the front that's going to be in the kitchen, the fan up at the top, and then there will be one more hole to cut. We go right here at the back. That's going to be a sunlight over the bed that I'm really looking forward to. Won't be as big as I initially wanted it to be because cupboards are going to get in the way, but I still want it. I want that above light. I think it's going to be really sweet to have in the evenings. And at night, hopefully being able to, if it's clean enough, look up into the stars, I think would be really cool too. So that's where we're at so far. Most of it went off without the hitch. I'm pretty pleased with how the windows installed. The roof fan didn't go quite as planned and had some leakage. Initially we had a big bout of rain last week that also really slowed me down. But you know, it can't all go perfectly. And so after the rain stopped, I got back up there and just covered the thing in silicone. So I'm pretty confident that wherever that leak was, it won't be an issue anymore. But we'll see. After cutting the holes, it was onto the floor. There's an unusual shape going around the wheel wells, and also because of some of the body damage that had happened to this vehicle, not perfectly symmetrical even. So it took a lot of different measuring and a couple tries to get everything cut out in a way that fit, but not too painful, luckily. After everything was cut, we wanted to stain it. Found this really nice dark stain that we're going to put on this. Again, this is just the subfloor, so in the actual van it won't be visible, but in the trunk, in the garage, underneath the bed, I'm not going to be putting any other flooring there, so it will be visible there. So figured do a nice dark stain on that to have it looking sharp, and then after that put some sealant on it. The issue that I did not realize was until I opened the canister, I thought the sealant was clear. It is not. So you can see all that nice stain that I worked on and soaked into that big, all those big pieces of wood. Just got immediately covered up with a gray sealant. But that's okay. It still looks tidy on the floor, and again, most of the time it will not be seen. And in any of the important places, there'll be a real flooring on top of it. So, it's what it is, but it felt kind of silly after that one. Once I got it all sealed up, I got the floor installed, which I don't have any video of, as well as put in a bunch of framing on the walls, which is also there's no footage of. But what I do have footage of is a quick kind of overview of what it looks like to that date, as well as a bit of a plan laid out with tape as to what the actual van's going to look like. So I figured I'd end this one with that little overview. All right, and as I said, hopefully I've got the next one coming out sooner, but you probably can quickly learn not to trust that. We'll see when it comes, but hopefully soon. See you later. Getting everything marked up. Got my fridge right here, my stove there, counter and cabinet space that's gonna go floor to ceiling there. This square is going to be a shower, honestly bigger than the one I have right now, so that's a huge bonus. L-shaped seating space that will have a table mount in the middle here. The bed's going to fold down and fold up like this, so it'll overlap with this part of the L. And then a whole bunch of storage all along this wall, so should be lots of space for all my shit. starting to get her framed up on the ceiling. Those pieces of wood suck to get in, but got it. Now I don't have to do it again.